Hello, 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 huh? Okay, let me ring. That's a little better. Okay, who's coming in? Come on, come to Dr. Freedom. All shall be revealed, all shall be given. Come into the light. Come into the light. Everybody hear me all right? Say hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Come on. Howdy, 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 howdy. I'm just here to do a job. Okay, let's wait for some folks to get in here. How's everybody doing? Come on, pop in on the chat there and say hello. We got Adam Andrew from New Hampshire. Who else we got watching? Anybody? Is the audio sounding okay out there? Because YouTube has a reputation. Sometimes this thing works really, really well, and other times it sucks ass. So I'm going to keep the microphone over there because people seem to like that when I do live streams. I don't know why. Okay, good to hear. How's everybody doing tonight? Come on in, come on in. I want a nice crowd because guess what? It's time to take the gloves off. Like I said, and you're going to understand that reference here in just a few minutes. The reason being is this. I can't believe how many people out there in the world have turned into shade tree attorneys and armchair lawyers supporting and defending the British Broadcast Corporation when, like I said, the photos were not stolen. The photos were put on a public website by the photographer. Now, apparently he did not clear with the BBC before he did this, but it doesn't matter. Once the photos were on the internet, they were put onto social media, Twitter, which unfortunately turned out to be a big mistake because Twitter has turned out to be the biggest kiss ass on the planet Earth. I'm not kidding. If you want an ambassador to everyone else, well, wrong. They're just the ambassador to the BBC who sucks their a-hole. It's just crazy. How's everybody doing tonight? How's it going? Yeah, come on in, sit down. I'm going to wait a few more minutes before we get started because I want as many people in here as possible to come in because, like I said, I've been finding out more and more and more about those photos ever since they got put up. Now, here's another side note. I was already informed by several different channels on YouTube that they put their videos up not even 10 hours after mine went up. The BBC did not strike their videos. Now, I don't know if this is targeted. I've always had a target painted on my back as far as the BBC goes. I'm shocked they've let me, get away with as much as I have. No, they clamped down that site quickly. Now, from what I was told by the people who put these up, when this person stumbled onto this site, it was completely by accident. They were just typing in, I think it was Doctor Who Series 11 photos. And all of a sudden, wham, on their screen, there they were. So they went there and look what they found. But that's not all they found. On that same page was a number of locked galleries. Now, they didn't go anywhere near those. They only took some of the photos. What you saw was only some. What he said, there was like 50-something photos on that page that were publicly available that he could have easily taken and put all over the internet. And he didn't. So I don't know why they're having a cow over, like not even a dozen photos. Other than the fact that from what we've seen, there's a number of guest stars that are in there that they did not want revealed. And I think that's what part of it is. The other part being that the TARDIS interior was meant to be kept optimum top secret. All praise to the Chibs. You see, this really upsets me because I've been nothing but supportive of the new series of Doctor Who. And what's even more alarming me, if you're just tuning in, I was speaking to usually a very reliable source. I'm still double checking on this, so don't have a cow yet. All right? Don't have a cow yet. But he spoke to somebody, and I won't name what this person does, but they are involved in doctor production. And he said that from what he had heard, hang on, I got to turn that thing off. That's getting annoying, ain't it? Now, from what he had heard, that apparently, there we go, it's on mute. Filming was going to resume in January of 2019. But that's not the alarming part. Because if the second part is true, this is falling in with Eddie McGeegan's information that he heard, Eddie at Scarro. From what he said as far as he knew, Series 12 was not going to air till 2020. I'm like I said, don't have a cow yet. This is just one source. It is someone who is close to production, but the problem is right now we have to look at the fact that these people could be lying to us at this point just to save their own skins. So, like I said, don't have a cow yet. Because I'm even hearing that that's not going to be October for Series 11. We're possibly looking at mid-September, if not maybe a little earlier. But like I said, mid-September. I'm still holding to the October 6th date, okay? That just seems to make more sense with what we know. But I'm really, really hoping it is mid-September. That would be really nice. Okay. Let me show that. There you go. I'm sorry if your folks are having a little trouble with your chat. I have certain keywords that were set in the vulgarity thing because there were people calling Jodie Whittaker names. Like I had cunt set in because I don't know how many times I had posted Jodie Whittaker is a cunt. So I just put that in the filter to keep that from happening in the comment box. And apparently it's carrying over to this one. So it may take me a second to approve your comment. Let's see. A lot of people were wanting Phoebe Waller-Bridge as the first woman doctor. Well, mainly my friend Connor did. But, okay. We've got about 50 people in here, so I'm going to get started. All right, let's start out with the very easy one. Okay, how many people here want to hear a list of, of guest stars that my friend Connor has determined based on what he's seen in the trailers and from these pictures? Anybody want to tell you? Probably a lot of you have already guessed them just based off the pictures, but let's name them. Okay, first up, Mark Addy, best known from Game of Thrones and The Full Monty. Second, Sean Dooley from Broadchurch and Misfits. Now, Mark Addy and Sean Dooley have apparently, he's speculating they'll be in episode 2. Alan Cumming, which we all know, because they tried to sneak him on the set during the filming in Gosport. He was the one wearing the Plague Doctor's mask. Of course, we know him from X-Men, Spy Kids, GoldenEye, amongst some other things. You trust me, Alan Cumming's resume goes out the door and through the window and out the Indiana border. Okay, the guy's very well established actor, incredible actor. Lee Mack from Not Going Out and Would I Lie to You. We've only been live for about 10 minutes, so you ain't missing too much, okay? Michael, good, relax. One of the obvious ones, the lady with the clipboard, has been identified as Julie Hesmond-Hall. Forgive me if I mispronounced it. And she is from Coronation Street, Broadchurch, and Cucumber. The young lady who's wearing the purple vest, the one I made fun of in the original video, saying it looks like she's going through a purple construction zone. Anybody remember that young lady? Turns out that my friend Connor has identified that actress as Claudia Jessie, and she's been seen as in WPC 56, Dixie, Josh. She was in the last episode of Josh, and apparently made an appearance in the series Doctors. Very young actress, apparently very into comedy. So I'll go through them one more time for you folks who have just tuned in. Mark Addy, Sean Dooley, Alan Cumming, Lee Mack, Julie Hesmond-Hall, and this young new actress, Claudia Jessie. Now, we haven't identified the others yet, but like I said, Connor, he's always on this. So once again, I have to thank him for it. It wasn't my find. He went out and he did this on his own. Okay. Here's the other big one that I did not reveal in the video that I could have. And this has to revolve around Toss and Cole's fight. Is it pronounced? I'm sorry. Yeah, I wasn't sure how it was pronounced. I was just going off the American, I'm an American dude. I do this thing. Somebody was bringing up. It's Hesmond Halsh. Have I got it right now? Hesmond Halsh? Hesmond Halsh. Okay, Hesmond Halsh. Hesmond Halsh. Haha. Sounds like the name of a new dish. I'm going to have a little Hesmond Halsh for dinner. Well, that sounds kinky, doesn't it? Okay, the other big thing that was not revealed in that video that I did not even speak of. As I said, there was a number of locked galleries on the page. And what happens is the guy told us about the locked galleries. He even took a still image of it. And guess what? That's one of the images I didn't use. Because I was like, okay, these are locked galleries. These are obviously something that's probably not meant to be seen. All right. So, see if I can find it now. Duh. Dr. Freedom, you're a moron. Sure enough, no, I can't find it. Dummy me. I probably put it in the wrong file. But I can pretty accurately describe it. Okay, there was a file that was taken during the filming at, the junkyard. And it was a beautiful picture of Jodie Whittaker. And she's standing there in Peter Capaldi's suit. And standing in the background, there's that fenced-in area, and there appears to be like a tower going up behind her. But one of the other galleries was the one that was the nitty-gritty. And this is one that's really, really giving away something. The name of this particular folder was called Doctor Who Rumble. And the photo that was the thumbnail for it was a picture of two fighters. Both of them are, in the standard Queensberry rules, whatever pose. Well, they're about to duke it out, right? And guess who one of them is? Ryan, a.k.a. Toss and Cole. So it's beginning to look like when we jump into the first episode, and there's a bunch of guys in the back. It looked like a scene from Fight Club. So it's kind of like, apparently, Toss and Cole's character of Ryan is some kind of street fighter. Whether it's illegal or illegal, I don't know, but maybe that's the reason why Yasmin, who, by the way, we found out from the 53-second clip, is a police officer, if you don't know that already. The one character we know nothing about, of course, is Bradley Walsh's character. There's still a lot of speculation about his character, but like I said, we really don't know anything about him. Matter of fact, even if he slips and says something, boom. Oh, thank you, Matthew. I have it somewhere, but I can't find it. Maybe I'll have to get another copy off you. So it kind of looks like Ryan's a street fighter. That's what I gathered, especially with there's a fight scene, and of course, like I said, the name of the folder is Doctor Who Rumble. Now, is there any questions or concerns? Like I said, the one thing I cannot stress enough, the photos were not stolen. They were not. They were made publicly available on the photographer's website. Somebody stumbled onto them. And like I said, it's the same thing kind of happened back in Series 8. Somebody did a search for Series 8. I think it was Doctor Who episodes. And suddenly, bam, right there on their screen, they come up on this thing and they land in a batch of files. And that's how they got the Series 8 episodes. They were on an open server to the internet. Now, in this case, those are whole episodes. That can be very spoilery, and yes, that can be damaging to the show. So I can understand why the BBC stepped in that case. Because that's completed product, okay? That's video footage. That, in essence, is entire episodes. But in this case, they were photographs. The photographs don't tell the story. Like I said, until we know the story, all we have are a bunch of actors and actresses standing in costume or in various scenery. There were no monsters. Very good catch, Michael. There were no monsters. We don't even get a full view of the TARDIS interior, to be honest with you. We get enough to whet our appetites and go, yeah. makes us want to get horny for more. But like I said, we don't see the actual console unless you really zoom in on the one photo, and you can barely see it. Hang on, sip of coffee. I'm getting a little too excited. There we go. So, in essence, we've got a street fighter, a cop, an old dude, and what do you call it? Like, yeah, the cyber turd. That brings up another very good point. The BBC have been really overstepping their bounds. As I said, Ace Creeper drew on his own. Apparently, I think he made the drawings. I'm not sure. But these drawings were made of the sonic screwdriver, and he made them available on Twitter and on his, I guess, on his page and whatnot. And the BBC tried to file a copyright strike saying they were their property. It's like they're striking at anything. Well, maybe we should change their name into the Cobra, the evil Cobra. Rawr. Cobra! I'm not kidding, because they strike at anything. It's just depressing. Matter of fact, yeah, as my friend Ross brought up, earlier this year, they copyright struck their own videos on their own channel. Oh. The lunatics are taking over the asylum. Boom, 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 boom. It's just nuts. And here we are, us guys who are just sitting here. I can't believe this. I don't even have 4,500 subscribers yet. And they're crawling up my ass like a freaking wake hole. Like they're giving me a colonoscopy. It's just nuts. It's like, am I that much, as a middle-aged fat man from Lima, that much of a threat to the British Broadcasting Corporation? Really? My God, what are they going to do? For him to show up and fart in the studio? What the hell? But like I said, what's even worse, I can understand why some people are anti-spoiler. And like I said, I have no ill will against you. But we've had people who've made physical threats against set reporters. And the sad part is, 9/10 of the people who go to Doctor Who sets are just fans who want a picture with Jodie, an autograph, and all that. They aren't really out there to take photos to run your episodes. And even if they do, how do you know what's going on in a scene? Especially even with the video shot. The video, you can't even hear the audio half the time because you're out there in open air. You got people all around. You got the guys, the directors doing their work. And the thing is, they're throwing a fit like this is going to ruin the show or something. It's like, really? Matter of fact, one guy had to be reported to Twitter this morning because he actually was advising people to go out and shoot DWSR people. That is how sad and depressing it has gotten. The worst part is, one of the guys at the top of this whole thing is a little guy with the initials MW. And if you know who I'm talking about, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people who know MW, and I'm not going to fault you for doing that because you haven't seen his dark side, maybe. MW also was making malicious threats against Matt Lucas. He also bullied and intimidated Mini Matt Smith. He got called out in public at a press conference. It was one of the last ones where it was Peter Perlmacki, Steve Moffat were there. And after that thing was over, Mini Matt told Stephen Moffat and all that who was doing all this. But what really canned it was when MW was actually putting these threats and all that up on Twitter against Matt Lucas. And Matt Lucas had him banned from set. Then suddenly MW became rabid anti-DWSR guy. Even though he'd been on set somewhere around 8, 9, 10 times the previous year. He had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 selfies with Peter Capaldi. Yet he calls other people who go out and want photos with an actor stalkers. This guy who found out when Peter Capaldi showed up at the Doctor Who Experience actually hot-tailed his ass over there so he can get another selfie with him. Yet he's calling a guy who saw Jodie Whittaker in a car and waved at her as she went by a stalker. The double standards are amazing. It really is. The sad fact of the matter is you got other guys like the Dummy Laming who've hopped onto this bandwagon. And all it is, sadly, is like I said, about half, what, 3 or 4 parts envy and jealousy thrown in with a little bit of ego bruising. That's the only thing I can figure out. Okay, any more questions? Yeah, George Baker, like I said, he's been misconstrued in a lot of ways. Like I said, he has gone a little over the top every now and then, I'll admit. But no, he did not actually stalk Jodie Whittaker. Matter of fact, he even showed me and even put on Twitter, I think it was an Uber or a Lyft ride, and they keep a log of the journey. And his car went the exact opposite direction that Jodie Whittaker's did. So no, he did not follow her home. No, he did not follow her to the studio. Yes, unfortunately, Kelder, I think is. I am very scared because Chibnall did do that with Broadchurch, if memory serves. And I don't want this going on with Doctor Who anymore. You can't blame Peter Capaldi for any dipping ratings over the last few years. You really can't blame Stephen Moffat, even though a lot of people do. You've got to blame the guys up on floor 6. I have no beef with wait, what others? I'm actually a pretty friendly guy 9/10 of the time. I'm sorry. I'm a truth teller. I see it. I say it. It's just the way I am. But what happened was you had, starting with Series 6, all these stupid season splits, years off. Matter of fact, I can tell you for a fact now that we found out that the reason why they had the year off between Series 9 and 10 was because BBC Worldwide wanted to focus on Broadchurch. Not on Broadchurch, I mean on Sherlock. We want to focus on Sherlock. Doctor Who can take a year off. And it's like, if you don't put out fresh material for the fans, they're going to turn their back on you and walk off. It's just, they're like, well, many fans have outgrown the show. No, maybe fans have gotten sick and fucking tired of waiting for the goddamn show. Come on, it's not like you're doing an American production where they hammer out 24, 25 episodes a year. For crying the hell out loud. Like I said, but one thing I do love about the BBC, yes, you do get fewer episodes. Yes, but the thing is they do focus on quality. But the problem is season splits were not the answer. Years off were not the answer. Peter Capaldi should have had Series 9 and then went Series 10 and then had another series before he departed. And it's beginning to look more and more that I had it true that Peter Capaldi was asked to leave. And yes, I am still very upset about it. While I am excited for the new series of Doctor Who, I do know that it came with a price. And like I said, Peter, of course, like I said, everybody's like, well, Peter said he left of his own accord. Really? Go back and play every interview where Peter Capaldi discusses himself leaving, especially when he's on camera. You'll notice he kind of glances off to the left, thinks about it for a moment, and then starts to speak. Now, anybody who's studied mentalism, I don't know how many of you have really gotten into mentalism, are basic, psychological tics. One of the things that happens when a person starts to make up a story is they tend to glance off in one direction because they're accessing this side to think of, they're hitting the imaginary side. Peter didn't want to hurt the show. Peter, he threw himself on his sword. That's my opinion. He did. Because he felt he was doing it for the good of the show. Now, earlier today, I actually said, like I said in the earlier video, a guy named Steve Scotland, like I said, don't go pester him. He just had his own opinion, but one of the stupidest damned analogies I ever heard. He said, well, if the bank robbers rob money from the bank and get away with it, does that mean they keep it? For one, there was no theft. Nobody stole anything. I said, no, but what if the bank owner one day decides to walk out in the street and start throwing money out in the street and people pick it up? Does that mean 8 hours later, the cops can show up at their door, bang on it, and say, you're under arrest for robbery or theft? Okay, now people are talking about Star Trek in the comment box. I don't talk about it anymore because I ceased being a fan. I'll always remain a classic fan, but I ceased talking about it really after 2009 because it became everything I kind of knew it was going to be. Now, and if you people watched the new Galactica, I knew they were going to do the same thing with Star Trek. Exact same thing. Let's water it down intellectually. Let's throw in some skin. And of course, we'll throw in the Michael Bay action shit. And oh, look, we've got a hit movie. Well, they did Into Arsonist. And okay, wait a minute. You're trying to tell me. Now, I know the actor's dead, but come on, give me a break. You're trying to tell me that because old Spock went back in time, that suddenly Khan went from being an Indian Sikh warrior to a British dude who, like, is Doctor Strange. Now, like I said, no disrespect to Benedict Cumberbatch. He's an amazing actor. He's always spot on in his roles. I love him in Sherlock. I love him in Doctor Strange. I think he was amazing in those. And I think he really did his best that he could as Khan. But the thing is, I didn't see him as Khan. Ricardo Montalban owns that role. There is no way you're ever going to take it from him. I don't care if you stuck Sean Connery in there as Khan. Well, then again, they wouldn't. Poor guy don't even know what planet is on anymore. But, okay, you're getting around to the leaked images. I'm sorry, I did drift a little bit. I was going with what was in here. So let's go on to the images, okay? Let's go one by one. All right, we're going to start. Okay, the gal in the purple vest that you all saw has now been identified as Claudia Jessie. The big pregnant guy who looks like Conan O'Brien, I'm not sure who he is yet. But then we have, and he's standing there and he's got a beach ball or whatever. He looks like he's pregnant. Then another photo comes and, oh, look, he's sitting there holding the baby. Hello. The SJW conspiracy fellows are going to eat this shit for breakfast. That was the first thing that popped into my head. I'm like, oh my freaking God. Please don't tell me they were dumb enough to go there, especially with all the misogynist shit, that's been being thrown around, with the casting of Jodie Whittaker. And I don't know. But no, Peter, like I said, Peter Capaldi was amazing. He was amazing. And he had some really shit scripts that he really pulled out. He really did. Like I said. Oh, hello there. Some new people coming in. Sorry I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to keep up with you here in the chat a little bit, okay? No, I think Peter was asked to leave. I really do. It's just they said, look, Peter will slip you a few extra bucks. And I guarantee you, this is how I see that meeting happening. Let's go back to the Peter Capaldi thing for a moment. Because I've always pictured this meeting. They call up Peter. Peter comes to the 6th floor. They sit him in this big, beautiful interview. Picture that big conference room that's always in the stereotypical Wall Street movies. They sit him down in a chair. Then, a couple of little spin doctors come up in suits and they go, Peter, it's not working out. Here's the latest ratings figures. And they'll feed him some bullshit lines about how it's a catastrophic failure. Oh, look, we've dipped here. We dipped here. Peter, we did surveys. And that was what really struck me as funny is when they started putting out those surveys. And right there at the top is, what do you think of Peter Capaldi's performance as the Doctor? And it doesn't matter how much you guys scored him high. I guarantee you the results they showed him were, Peter, you're lower than whale shit. I'm not kidding. I bet you anything that's the results they showed him. Well, Peter, it's decided that, you remember that scene in Adventure in Space and Time where they got the guy there, with Sidney Newman and he's talking with, David Bradley as William Hartnell. I think it was exactly one of those scenes. We've decided the show is going to go on, but without you. Now we'd like it if you went quietly. We'll slip you a few extra bucks, like we did with Caro Skinner. Even though she was probably boinking Moffat, but I wasn't supposed to say that. So I'm not kidding. That's how they work. It's double speak. How many people have read, 1984? I remember that. Or at least seen the movie with John Hurt. It fucking rules. All right. But we have gotten to the point that a major corporation on the other side of the planet can tell a fat ass in Lima that his video has violated their copyright when, according to the laws of the land, those photos were on social media. He has every right to describe and go over those photos. And I'm sorry, it's fair use. If I want, I keep the fair use clause from the International Copyright Act of 1976. I think it's the Copyright Act of 1976. I keep it right here in a text file. So this way, whenever people do this shit, here it is. It's right here for you. I'll even read it for you. One of the things you have to do, if you're on YouTube, you better learn copyright as best as you can, because there are corporations out there. Get ready for this one. How many are still here? Okay, you're all going along. Good, good, good. Are you still with me? Okay, I'm losing it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. One time I had a video go up, and it was just me reading the news. There was no music. There was an intro, but suddenly I look at the video again about a day or two later. There's a copyright strike on it. And I'm like, I didn't use anything in that video. I didn't even use a picture. And sure enough, I go look, and it's from some other country. I can't remember the name of it. Had copyright struck my video for a piece of music that I had never even heard of. And I had to actually send them back a thing going, guys, there's no music. Oh, sorry. My allergies are really killing me today. Snozzer. I did. I had to send them a thing back going, guys, you can't really strike the video because there's no fucking music there. You struck a piece, and they showed me, they had the time index in there. You struck a piece of fucking music, as being that segment, and that's just me talking. Really? It's bad enough that the Facebook ID thing on, the thing on, that picture ID thing on Facebook, every time anyone who's a friend of mine puts up a picture of David Tennant, I get a tag notice. I'm like, how the fuck is that thing that screwed up that it's messing me up with David Tennant? You really need to seriously fix that shit. I'm like, oh. No, I think Peter was asked to leave, and instead of doing it the proper way, what he did was he went into that studio, and I think it was BBC Radio 2 with what's her name, and he caught him by surprise. He did it on his own terms. He said, that's it, I'm leaving. And I think he did it just to throw him off balance. He did leave of his own accord. I honestly believe that. Because the announcer, I can't remember her freaking name. She had no idea. She had not been informed that Peter was going to say this. He outright just blurted it out, I'm leaving. And I think that's why he did it. He wanted to leave on his own terms. Because I think he was honestly sat in a room and go, well, Peter, things are falling apart. It was Zoe Ball. You're right. You nailed it. Thank you. Peter, I think things are not working out. Says right here, according to the surveys, you suck. The ratings have taken a catastrophic dip, Yeah, whatever. We caught you looking at Clara's ass. Whatever it was, all right? Oh, and that's another one I can go over. Jenna Coleman, my God. There's a reason they call her Side Door Jenna. Now, here, let me let you in on another secret while I'm here. How many are here? Was it Joe Wiley? I could have sworn it was Zoe Ball, wasn't it? Maybe I got her. I have to go look it up. Like I said, I don't have any notes. I'm doing this on the fly. How many here want to know what the beef is with Matt Smith? Anybody? Raise your hand. Come on. Give me a hell yeah, or I'm not going to tell you. I want to see at least 10 hell yes. Because I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you exactly what my beef is with Matt Smith. Why I make fun of him. Come on. Give me 10 hell yes. Hell yeah. Okay, it was Joe Wiley? Okay, that sounds right. Okay, Zoe Ball was the one who announced them in the first place, right? Okay, we got a lot of hell yes. Very good. My main beef with Matt Smith was when he was on set and all that, back when he was the doctor, he had nothing to do with the fans. Not a damn thing. I had several friends of mine who were on set, and they don't make shit up. These are really good people. The one guy I've known for years, I won't give his name because I don't want him to get in trouble. But he said Matt Smith basically ignored everybody on set. He did, however, get a photo with Jenna, but Jenna's tune didn't change really, and that was in the Peter Capaldi era when that happened. Jenna Coleman was the same damn way. She had nothing to do with the fans, not a freaking thing, until Peter Capaldi showed up, and then Peter started going out to the fans, and from what I heard, he was the one who nudged her to do it. As a matter of fact, she doesn't do it anymore. Her last couple appearances, the reason why we call her Side Door Jenna, she shows up. If there's cameras there, she'll go up to the handicap, get a few nifty PR shots. If there's little kids, she'll do the PR shots. Anybody else? This one last appearance, my one friend was there. She went to everybody. She goes, "Look, I'll be right out in about 20 minutes. Just wait, and then I'll come out and I'll sign autographs." Then she went in. Now I can understand somebody's busy, but she actually looked at everybody and said, "I'll be out in 20 minutes." Went in, and then about an hour later, my friend's still standing there. And I think it was her agent or something came out, or somebody who was, works for Jenna, and said, "Dude, what? She left out the side door about 15, 20 minutes ago." So that's where a side door. But Matt Smith was the same damn way. He had not a damn thing to do with the fans until he started getting paid for it. Now, David Tennant was out there. He actually greeted fans on the set and all that. He did sign autographs and all that. Peter Capaldi, same thing. The guy was a class act. Matter of fact, one of my favorite quotes from him, and like I said, I wish I could remember it all the way. He was on set the one day, and somebody approached him and said, "Peter, why do you always go out to the field?" Peter goes, "Well, I'm going to go out here in a couple of minutes and talk to the fans." And the guy's like, "Well, Peter, you really don't have to do that." And he looks at him, he goes, "Yes, I do, because once upon a time, I was one of those people on the other side of that line." That is a class act. He always went out of his way for the fans. Always did. Matter of fact, the word is now that when he found out that the July 10th was going to be the last day for filming, and trust me, they didn't know. Filming literally for the first time in a billion years at the BBC got ahead of schedule. He had 100 cupcakes sent to the studio to share with fans on his last day when he went out. That is a class act. You'll never beat that. You'll never top that. But the thing that really disturbs me more than anything is showrunners always scare me. While I was one of those guys who, when I found out Steve Moffat had taken over, I was like, wow, this is the guy who wrote this episode or this episode. He's a lifelong fan. Yay, things are going to get. Well, folks, all I can tell you is this. The only classic companion to appear in Doctor Who was Sarah Jane Smith. Nobody else. And I thought for sure with him coming in that was going to happen. But, oh well. Any other questions while I'm here? So now you know why I really don't like Matt Smith. Matt Smith is a phony. He, like I said, I can understand the fact that he walked on the set and that, he had not been a Doctor Who fan previous, but I still gave him a chance. He's still an amazing actor. He was incredible as the Doctor. He really did pull off an amazing job of playing an old soul trapped in a young body. He really did. But he's an a-hole. All right, anybody else? Well, Polly and Min I wasn't concerned with. I wanted to see Caroline Ford back as Susan at least once before she dies. She's in her 70s. And, William Russell, yeah, it was great that they were on Adventure in Space and Time, but they should have been in the 50th. That I will never give up. There was no reason on planet Earth that they should not have been in the 50th anniversary special. Matter of fact, like I said, one of my favorite comments that if I did do a special on the 50th, when they had that scene at the beginning where the teacher comes out and tells Clara about the doctor calling her or whatever, you could have made that fucking William Russell. Not some 2-bit shit side actor we're never going to see again for that whole special. But Paul McGann, yes, like I said, as much as I love John Hurt, the main reason John Hurt was brought in was the fill theater seats and the liven up and otherwise shit script. I'm sorry, it really was. I can go by. It's just amazing how many people have contacted me now over the last, 5 years, who went in there going, "It was the greatest episode of Doctor Who ever." Who go, "Oh my God, I like this shit," when they watch it now. Yeah, it is a record. I wanted to thank everybody who's coming in. I'm only going to give you about 15 more minutes, and I got to run because I got to be at work tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, I had the day off because, my wife went in for a routine medical procedure, and I had to take her there because they had to knock you out to do it, so she couldn't drive to it herself. Don't worry, she's okay. She's doing fine. Tests came back great, so it's nothing to worry about. For you folks who did ask, and I'm glad you did. I'm very glad there's some people out there who are very concerned about Lady Gallifrey. No, Matt Smith had not been signed yet when the 50th anniversary came around. Originally, Matt Smith wanted the hell out. Matter of fact, I wish I still had that damn video clip for when it was like Entertainment Tonight. He was at a party. They interviewed him and he said, "Look, I'm finishing this year of Doctor Who, then I'm coming out here to LA." What happened was this. I'm going to do this one more time for you people who don't know this story. Andrew Russell Garfield. You remember that little dude? Amazing Spider-Man? Anybody? Say hell yeah. Come on, let me know you're watching. Hell yeah. Andrew Russell Garfield. He came up with Matt Smith. They were very good mates, very good chums. And Andrew Russell Garfield came here to the United States, and he lands, after a while, Spider-Man. Well, Matt Smith, ching ching, picture that thing, like in Richie Rich where the big dollar signs hit your eyes. That's what happened. He thought he was going to come here to the United States and become an acting millionaire like his buddy. He was going to land a big fat major role. Now he's living in Karen Gillan's pool house. But of course, Matt Smith's going to London Film and Comic-Con. His contract is up on the Crown. He's out of there, if I remember right. He's being replaced with another actor. He needs the money. He's not landing any major roles, especially after Terminator Genocide hit. Oh, man. There was a shit movie. And speaking of giving away your plot right in the trailer, they gave away the fact John Connor was really in with the machines in the very trailer for the movie. I'm like, Doe. Yeah, no, he did not. He wanted money. He wanted money. That's why he left. He thought he was going to come over here and make a zillion. Now, a lot of people have asked me, Brian, how come we got all these freaking British actors over here doing American roles? Okay, for you folks who are fiscally minded, if I remember correctly, and I may have this wrong, but this is just what I've heard. Peter Capaldi started Doctor Who, I think his first couple of years, at like 400K pounds a year. After they started slashing the budget, I think he dropped to 240, if I remember right. So yeah, I love how they're making a big deal about Jodie making as much as Peter Capaldi. She's making as much as Peter Capaldi after he took a pay cut of 160K pounds a year. But I want you to picture this. Jodie Whittaker, right now, in Doctor Who, is making about 240K pounds per year, which ain't bad. That's about 3 times what I make in a good year as an auto worker. Keep that in mind. Sorry about that. Burpavision. The average. All right, now let's take Hugh Laurie. Everybody remember Hugh Laurie? Give me a hell yeah. Hugh Laurie's damn good. Hugh Laurie in his latter years of House was making $1 million an episode. $1 million an episode. Now, anybody remember how many episodes a season there were in House? And in his last year, Series 8, in order to tie things together, he took a pay cut to $800K per episode. Jodie Whittaker, $240K a year. In the United States, your average actor, if he's on a hit series, can make $1 million a year, depending on the popularity. Why do you think all the British actors are coming here? Kind of adds up, don't it? I'm just trying to make a living. I'm sorry. I faded there for a minute. That didn't even sound anything like that. I can't do a Yorkie accent, okay? I suck at accents. I do a really good, strange-sounding Paul Lynde guy, though. That's another thing. How many people have been listening to the audios? Be honest, come on. Dr. Freedom and Eric, how many people listen to them? Please give me a little inspiration to keep doing it. Anybody? They're in their own playlist if you want to go listen. I know they're not the greatest, writing in the world because they are written by me. Like I said, I will never equate myself on any level with like Moffat or anything like that. But, all right, Michael and you guys, if you want to go listen to the first 2, they're complete and they're in their own playlist on the YouTube page. That's okay. Like I said, I just do these for fun, okay? I love getting feedback from the audience and, come on, go listen to Dr. Freedom and Eric, you bastard. No. But, yeah, I'm not talking about Big Finish. I'm talking about Dr. Freedom and Eric, okay, here on the YouTube channel. Okay. Please give them a listen because the first one was all me. The second one was full cast. The third one is now going into its final chapter, and that's Skydark was a trial run. I did that one all by myself because I wanted to see if I could do it. It was originally going to be a 1-hour plot. It turned into a 2.5-hour serial. Death Moon was the same thing. I originally had it done as like a 1-hour thing, and then it turned into a thing. All right, any more news for Doctor Who? Okay, now for you folks who are just tuning in, but the last one comes, the Imperator is almost done. All right, let's jump. All right, let me fill you in for you folks who are just getting in here. It turns out from what we've seen, the character of Ryan, played by Tosin Cole, in a series of photos in a category called Doctor Who Rumble on that photographer's website, he's seen in a pose like this against another guy, and it appears to be in some kind of street fight going on, like a Fight Club thing. We've identified the young actress in the purple vest as being Claudia Jesse. That was done by Connor Farley. These are all by him, okay? Mark Addy is in it. Sean Dooley, Alan Cumming, Lee Mack, and Julie Hesmondhalgh. Did I get it right that time? Hesmondhalgh. So those are your list of actors who are going to appear in Series 11. And there's rumors that there's another one. Okay, here's the big one. Everybody sitting down. There is an American actor being rumored, let me keep that in mind, put it in capital letters so big you can read it from the moon, because I don't know if this is true. There's rumors that an American actor is going to appear in Doctor Who, a very popular American actor. Who wants his name? Give me 10 hell yes. 10 hell yes. 10 hell yes, or I fill up my vaporator and go home. Don't remind me of Daisy Lowe photos. Oh, God. A friend of mine sent me those. I got a surprise I didn't want to see. Okay, just a few more. Okay, that's about 10. I lost count after 8. Rumored Kyle MacLachlan. Let me repeat that one time. Rumored Kyle MacLachlan. There's also another one going around, Anton Lesser. Like I said. Also, just to really make you shit your britches, here's Star Wars. Anybody want to hear some Star Wars? Hell yeah. Give me like 5 or 10 hell yes. Kyle MacLachlan. You remember him from Dune? RJH? Dune? Twin Peaks? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Okay. Rumored for the new series, or for the next movie of Star Wars. Sorry. I got to go check on this to see if it's true and make sure it ain't for Clone Wars. But there's a rumor going around that Richard E. Grant will be playing Grand Admiral Thrawn. If that is true, the Force just awakened in my pants. Nah, Bruce Campbell is, I think, pretty much done. He said if they canceled, Ash vs. Evil Dead, that he was going to retire the character. I don't know if he's going to be doing any other movies. You got to remember, he is 60 years old. It is for the movies. It is true. Okay. I wasn't sure. I just heard this in a messenger chat. So I wanted to be sure. That's all right. So according to Shaggy, it's true. And it is for the movies. Now, like I said, I was very, very disgruntled. That's going into Star Wars. Thrawn. Thrawn, you dirty birdie. Yeah, Richard E. Grant as Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, 60 ain't old, but you got to remember, he does have some money put away. He's not broke and destitute. Matter of fact, if you remember the movie called They Call Me Bruce, or Call Me Bruce, or something like that he pretty much funded that movie. Matter of fact, that whole town set that you saw, the exteriors, are still standing on his property in Oregon. But I'm not kidding. The Force just awakened in my pants. Because there is an amazing actor in a really damn good role. Could you send me a link on how to get into Gallifrey Amino? Because I'm already on Whovians Amino. Like I said, they were discussing it in the one chat. Shaggy says it's true and it's for the movies. If it is, like I said, the Force just awakened in my pants. No, the thing is this. Apparently, from what I also heard in the casting news, Mark Hamill is back. And there's a strong possibility he ain't dead. He could have Force teleported himself somewhere instead of croaking. Because it was interesting that when he disappeared, why did his hand go with him? Okay, go to Brian Burris on Facebook and send me a link to Gallifrey Amino. I'll set that up if you're on Facebook. Hey, Johnny, glad to see you. Okay, so let me give you the rundown one more time for you people. Yeah, Billy D. Williams is back, and it's about goddamn time. He should have been in the last movie. He really should have been. He should have been the hacker guy that they were looking for in the casino. He really should have been. And that would have been a nice tie-in to bring him into the third movie. Yeah, we do know there is a Christmas special. They pretty much confirmed that at San Diego Comic-Con for Doctor Who. I talked about that a while back. Oh, yeah, they each made about $1 million a frickin' episode for Friends. You're right. Michael Belcher just brought that up. No, Han Solo is staying dead. Let me get that in the free and clear. That's what Harrison Ford wanted. He wanted Han Solo to die, but in a very noble, sentimental way. So it was kind of his wish. Matter of fact, Alec Guinness wanted to be out of the role of Obi-Wan back in the original. That's why they killed him off at first. But then he did call up George and go, you know what? Do you really need me? And next thing you know, don't worry, you'll know my photo. My photo's on my Facebook profile. You can't miss it. I'm still just as ugly. All right. So for you folks who just stepped in, Richard E. Grant's playing Grand Admiral Thrawn apparently in the new Star Wars movie. And we all know Richard E. Grant as the pseudo Ninth Doctor, or the original Ninth Doctor in Scream of the Shalka, amongst many other things. You know, he did come back in Doctor Who as what's his nut with the great intelligence and all that, the snowman. Yeah, he kind of didn't like Star Wars. He thought the lines were mumbo jumbo. Yeah, Michael just brought that up about Alec Guinness. Sorry if I'm all over the place, but I'm trying to keep up with you guys in the text box, all right? So you may want to rewatch this one later and read the live chat as it goes by. Yeah, because I don't know if they actually got anything really shot with her in episode 9, did they? Carrie Fisher? Because the big trick is, this is what was going to happen originally. Carrie Fisher was supposed to play a larger role in episode 9. We had no idea that she was going to pass away. Unfortunately, it looks like in her latter years, she fell back into drugs again. But if you've read any of the books, especially Todd Fisher's autobiography and any of her books where she, talks about herself, her life, this, poor gal, she had a lot. She was very, very intelligent, incredible woman. But the problem is there's a thin line between genius and insanity. And she rode that border quite a bit. They are going to use unviews footage. Okay, from The Force Awakens. All right. I'm sorry, but I haven't had a chance to read a whole lot about that because of the events of the last 24, 36 hours. I've been caught up in that a lot. We don't know who Rey is related to. All we know is that the story Kyle Ren told her is bullshit. Yep. Yeah, and like I said, remember, Luke had a mechanical hand. Why didn't it flop down on the ground? I don't think you can take your cyber hand with you to the Force land, can you? All right, so let's go over the list one more time because I'm coming up on time to quit. So you guys know. I'm going to go over what I went over here again real quick. Guest stars for Series 11. From what this was compiled by Connor Farley, this is what he saw in the photos and in the trailers. Sorry, I had a belch there. Mark Addy, Sean Dooley, Alan Cumming, Lee Mack, Julie Hesmondhalch. Claudia Jesse has been identified as the girl in the purple vest in the photos. I don't know why I put the word leaked on that video because I should have known I'd be targeted instantly. They technically weren't leaked. It was a bungle. I should have said bungled photos. Also, there's a rumor that Kyle MacLachlan will be appearing in Series 11, but I want to see more info on that before I believe it. So, and also we learned that from the photos I did see from the thumbnail, there was a folder called Doctor Who Rumble. Taz Cole is Ryan standing there like this, facing another guy. And if you can see the background, it looks like a Fight Club type situation going on. So that's what I covered for you tonight. And yes, they are all spoilers. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, my last thought on this matter, the BBC, you should have played ball. Now you can kiss my ass. So good night, folks. See you on the flip side. I'm glad we covered a multitude of subjects. I'm glad we hit 100 viewers at one point because that is a record. I want to thank everybody who came. Also, yeah, Richard E. Grant playing Thrawn. Bonus. So, nope, I will never leave Matt Smith alone. He's a phony. Good night. Take care. See on the flip side. Let me see if I can find the button. I can't remember where it is. Oh, duh. There it is. See y'all later. Don't worry. This channel will continue. I don't care how much the BBC stomps and throws baby fits and does those little things where the kid falls back on the ground, kicks their feet. And from now on, like I said, if I have a video where there's photos that I feel are spoilery, I will have a link to the Dr. Freedom Facebook page on the bottom of the video in the description box. I will also have something scrolling across the screen saying go to the Dr. Freedom page for the full video. And like I said, I don't want to get a Patreon account, but it seems like that may be inevitable because I think that's how a lot of folks are getting around the copyright thing. I don't like to ask people for money to do this, to keep the lights on, because I have a good living, but there are some projects I like to do, so I've been thinking about it. So good night, guys. Have a good one. Ooh.